Welcome to Kain Company with your host, David Kain.
Hello and welcome to CBT News. My name is David Kain, and today on Kain Company, we're going to meet Victor Figlin, who is the dealer principal at the Indy Auto Man in Indianapolis, Indiana, a used car operation. And Vic, thank you very much for joining us. I am really looking forward to introducing you to our audience here on Kain Company. If you do me a favor, you're the first person that I'm going to be streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and mobile devices. So we want to make sure that this is just a remarkable show today, okay?
Excellent, no pressure at all.
All right, excellent. Would you start out by just telling us a little bit about you and your dealership operation?
Really short, came to US in 97. In 2008, we opened a car dealership with my business partner who was at the time 15 years old and started with 12 cars and went as high as 450, learned the lesson and scaled inventory to less than 300, following the advice of many Dealer 20 group moderators.
Wow, that's really cool. So how did you start out? I mean, were you on the sales floor? Obviously, you're really hep on marketing and technology, but tell us a little bit about how you personally got involved.
My background is in web development and marketing. My degree is in marketing, master's in marketing. And I was sitting at my house with my business partner who was left with us because he was 15 years old and his parents went on vacation and they did not trust whole house to a 15-year-old. So, he flipped his car, his grandfather's car, and then he did not like flipped as sold, but another car.
I'm thinking of me as a 15-year-old flipping a car as opposed to selling a car.
Yeah, sorry. He sold and bought cars, like few cars, and I was trying to poke fun at him and say, "Oh, Eugene, you spent like 1 week, so how much you made?" And he told me the figure, which was exactly my two-week salary.
Oh, wow.
And probably by the look on my face, he said, "Hey, do you want to sell cars together?" And I said, "Yeah, why not?" We started with my savings and we borrowed from parents. And when we exhausted these resources, we signed up with a floor plan company and went from a dealership of 12 cars to dealership of 300 cars as of it stands today.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever met somebody who went from babysitting a used car dealer to becoming a business partner and then growing it into a really successful operation. That's definitely first story I've heard of that nature in my 40 years. What I'd like to do is learn a little bit about how an independent used car dealer plans for a new year. So if we could talk just a little bit about that. You and I have had dialogue about the unique marketing challenges that you all have to go through. Your inventory is always depending on the market. I'd just be real curious what your outlook is for 2024 and what you're planning for.
I mean, for us, I always stuck to the saying, prep your sleds in the summer. So, of course, we started prepping our inventory for 2024 at the end of 2023 by scaling it down from 450 to 300 cars, just because the inventory prices were keeping going down. And as I do daily repricing, I realize that I'm dropping prices too much. We cannot buy cars anymore because we have plenty of them to sell.
Yes.
And we need to catch up with inventory turn. And with the store being kept at ability of selling like 150 cars, 160 cars, we realize that we need to scale inventory to below 300 to be efficient. So
yeah.
the prep for 2024 started with scaling down our inventory and letting our advertising partners know that inventory is scaled down and figuring out what we can do as far as advertising budget.
That makes sense. And speaking of advertising budget, you happen to be a member of our new Marketing Director 20 group. I'd be curious, when you're focused on the independent used car operation and your colleagues that you're sitting with, some of them are running one single point franchise operation. Some, as you know, are running more than 20. How do you cross-pollinate and have a conversation with people who are franchise dealers, and what are your takeaways when you're in that kind of an environment?
I mean, my main takeaway is that I have it too easy right now compared to the guys with multiple roof points. But still, we are using same advertising partners, and we still have same difficulty with partners who are performing search engine optimization, pay-per-click, search engine marketing, trade-ins, equity mining, etc. It's just this group helps to figure out who is the best partner to partner with.
Yeah.
Instead of testing it with your own dollars,
Yes.
You can learn from others, and it's like a group thinking, and it's like a great mastermind that you have, which saves you a lot of aggravation and a lot of dollars.
Boy, you know, the way you describe that, it's the first time I've ever heard it put that way. And I think you're exactly right, is being able to look at someone who might have 10 rooftops and seeing how they approach different search activities, what they do when it comes to leveraging third-party sources and stuff. I also would be curious, kind of as a guidepost, when you're spending and building your budget, as you look towards driving traffic to your own website versus leveraging some of the well-known third-party players out there, do you have a percentage you work on? Do you work on a flat dollar amount? And if you'd be so kind as to share what you aim for from a percentage standpoint versus, you know, I spend 50% on my own website or through search engines and my own website activities versus, say, 50% on third party. What ratio do you typically try to aim for?
We aim for what I'm used to is an IAD per copy averages of 257. Sometimes it goes to $300. But when I engage with an advertising partner, I let them know ahead of time that, hey, that's what I'm expecting. So I can spend countless amount of money with you as long as my cost per lead is up to this amount. And then we have conversations on a monthly basis based on the data I have in my CRM and in Clarivoice that I'm using to measure return on ad spend. And I mean, sometimes it's great and sometimes it's like, hey, like I do not mind increasing the budget. And sometimes it's like, hey, let's figure out what's not working and how to make the product mix work. Because as you know, AutoTrader, CarGurus, Edmunds, Cars.com, they have different packages, different levels, different bells and whistles.
Yes.
And you need to figure out what is working for your store and what's not working and pick the optimal mix of products.
Awesome. Vic, you are a wonderful guest, and I sure hope you'll accept an invitation to come back and share more of your wisdom. It's always wonderful to spend time with you, and I just wanted to say thanks again for joining us here on Kain Company on the CBT News Automotive Network, now streaming on Roku and Apple TV and mobile devices. Please check us out, and we'll see you next time here on Kain Company. I'm David Kain. Bye now.
Bye now.
Thanks for watching Kain & Company with David Kain.